Hello and welcome to class. This is a vinyasa. Although this is a complete practice, it's just a part of the full class that I have available on my membership platform.
While you're grabbing your things, we'd like to remind you about our Breathe and Flow membership platform. We call it our Wolf Pack, and this is a space for you to deepen your practice.
There we have our entire content library. Knees. Just lay down for a moment. Bring the right hand on your belly, left hand on your chest. Close your eyes, allow the lower back to melt down towards the mat. Become aware of your body. How are you doing today? And notice the breath. How the air is flowing in and out through the nose. At the very least, we want to keep the lips sealed, breathe only through the nose. But if you're familiar with the practice, then I encourage you to set up your Ujjayi breath, a breath rhythm that works well for you for today's class. For the last 3 breaths, laying here on the back, set your intention for your practice today. Our intention always gives us some guidance, gives us the why in all the things that we're doing, gives us direction. Bring the hands down by your sides, bring the feet a bit closer to the hips, lift your hips up, bridge pose. You start with some gentle opening of the front. It's time to drag your heel a bit more up towards the shoulder blades, just to engage and contract the superficial backline a bit more while you're opening the superficial front. Let's take one more deep breath in here. On your exhale, roll the spine down from the top of the spine to the bottom. The hips come down last. Gently windshield wiper the knees left and right. Maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less. You decide. I invite you to modify this practice today to your needs. If there's something missing that you want to add in, please do so. If there's something that you want to cut out, please do so as well. Hug the knees into the chest. For happy baby, grab behind the knees or grab the outside of the feet. Gently pull the legs, the knees towards the armpit. You can also straighten one leg and then the other. Want to support each position with conscious breaths, expanding in all directions, making space. Now grab behind the knees, bring your feet, the legs together, rock forward from both toes, point the toes forward, reach the arms forward, we're just holding here. From both poses, try to not use your hands and come into a squat. From the squat, straighten your legs, forward fold, and the feet parallel to another. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. More and more, inhale, lift. Exhale to fold. You can bend the knees or keep them straight. You roll up from the bottom of the spine to the top. Keep your core engaged. Press your big toes into the the mat. Deep breath in, arms up. Exhale, hands down to the heart. Bring the wrists in line with the elbows. Release the hands down, chair pose, bend the knees, reach the arms up. Inhale. With your next exhale, forward fold, straighten your legs. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plank pose, step one foot back, then the other. You meet in plank. Set the knees down, slide the hands back, stay on the toes, shift forward and back. With the shoulders over the wrists. And if you need more wrist warm-up, please add it in. Internally rotate the hands, rock forward and back. Externally rotate the hands, come forward and back. And last one, the fingertips are pointing towards the knees, slide the hands more forward, lean back, bend both arms if you want to go deeper, and straighten again. This is also a nice one to do all of these wrist warm-ups, especially this one right now if you have some golfer elbow situation and issue going on. Very nice stretch. In addition, of course, to structural integration, bodywork. Always recommend that for any individual problems, issues, injuries. Just helps to individualize your practice. Sit back on the heels, shake out the hands. Interlace your hands, roll out the wrists, make circles, one direction. And then switch directions. Shake out the hands one more time. Come back down into a plank. From that plank pose, we shift forward, shoulders over the wrists, and shift back to plank. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the arms, lower all the way down to the ground. Slide the hands forward, Sphinx pose, bring the feet wide apart. Open the front, press your elbows down into the mat. If you feel like going deeper, straighten the arms, seal pose. Release down all the way to the mat, shake out the hips left and right. Now interlace your hands behind your back. With your inhale, lift the chest up, reach the shoulder blades towards the heels, lower down. Lift and lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one, lift up. And we hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release down, shake out the hips. One more time if you need to. Bring the hands next to your chest. Come onto the toes. Lift the knees, lift the hips. Of course, you can modify this if you need to. You press up, plank. Downward facing dog. First downward facing dog of the practice, so move around if you need to, otherwise already arrive in stillness. Let's all connect more to that stillness here, so slow down and pause the movements, allow the breath to move you from within while you're holding this position, and it might look just like a static hold, but you're always moving on the inside. Constant movement there, at least from the breath. lift the heels, walk the feet forward between the hands. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up one more time. Exhale, step your left foot back, pyramid pose, big long step. And if that's too long, just shorten the stance. Make sure both heels are on the ground. Melt the upper body down over the right leg. Gently pull the right hip back. If you want, you can walk the hands to the right, outside the right foot, or to the left, inside the right foot. Let's pivot the feet to the left for standing straddle forward fold. Maybe heel toe the feet wide apart. Make sure that the heels are wider apart than the toes. Toes in, heels out. You can also do a little bend in the knees if you want to. No need to push it here. Move around if you feel like it. Explore your own body with movement, definitely with breath. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, Skandasana to the left. Bend the left knee, straighten the right. Point the right toes, and maybe roll the right thigh in and out. From here, let's move to the front of the mat towards the right foot. Bring the right foot to the right side, so heel toe it out, so you can come into a lizard lunge. On the fingertips or palms down, you decide. Maybe on blocks if you need those, perfectly fine. Move the hips around, make circles, move forward and back. Again, the invitation for you to explore and just move in a way that feels interesting and keeps you curious about what's going on with the body. Now I like to come to my fingertips for this next movement. We're just going to exhale, straighten both legs and the hips back, and inhale, bend the front leg and lower the hips, open the front. Exhale, straighten both legs, inhale, open the front, last one, exhale, send the hips back, inhale, open. Back to lizard lunge, left palm down, left knee down, bend your left knee, reach your right arm back, maybe use a strap or belt if you need it to grab the foot. I recommend grabbing not the top of the foot, but actually the ankle, and then extend the left leg away from you, and then you pull the foot. You relax the quad, the leg, and pull then the foot towards you. At the same time, move the left hip down towards the left wrist for this nice stretch of a lot of the superficial and deep tissues of the front lines. Slowly release, back to a lizard lunge. Step the right foot back, plank pose. Shift forward, bend your arms, chaturanga. Plank, knees down, elbows down. Glide forward and through, upward facing dog. On the exhale, come all the way down to the belly. Interlace your hands behind the back. In Kali Mudra, so interlace all fingers except the pointer fingers. And then you reach the fingers, the hands towards the heels, lift the chest, inhale. Exhale, lower down. 4 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And lift up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release down. Hands down next to your chest. Come to your toes, lift the knees, lift the hips, straighten your arms, plank, downward facing dog. Come to the front of the mat, either step float or handstand. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll up to standing from the bottom of the spine to the top. Continue to inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands down to the heart, wrists in line with the elbows. Release the hands down, chair pose, bend the knees. Inhale, arms up. Continue to breathe here. Lift your heels. Draw the belly in. Stay connected to the big toe mount, your deep front line. Really great way to strengthen the lower part. Last deep breath in. Exhale, heels down, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step your right foot back. Pyramid pose, big step back, but just long enough so that you have both heels on the ground. When you're ready, exhale, fold the chest down over the left shin. Walk the hands to the left if you want, to the right. Frame the left foot again, and then pivot both feet to the right for standing straddle. Forward fold, heels out, toes in. If you want, you can bend one knee and then the other. Move into this position, see how that feels. You can also stay static. Allow the breath to arrive in your lower back. Allow the breath to expand your rib cage to the sides. Come back to the center to a more static standing straddle forward fold. And now we lift up halfway. Bring the heels in and the toes out. We rise up for horse stance. And then reach your arms around in front of you. Keep the arms relaxed but also active and engaged. Bend your knees a bit more, move the knees more towards the toes. And we're holding here. Feel that connection through the deep front line, which begins underneath your big toe, moving up the inner leg, the inner thighs, up into the pelvic floor. And so usually in this position you can feel this quite strong and it's very present. So be present with it. From that feeling in the hips, allow the breath to expand downwards and upwards, down into the pelvic bowl and up into the thoracic cavity and the diaphragm, the rib cage. Three, two, one, and to the left. You hold it here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Straighten the legs, bring the heels out, toes in, fold forward and down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bend your right knee, Skandasana to the right. Point the left toes, roll the left thigh in and out. Move to the front of your mat towards the left foot, both hands inside the left foot, heel toe the left foot to the left for lizard lunge. Stay on your fingertips or come down with the palms. move around. Come onto the fingertips if you want, whatever you did on the first side. From here, exhale, straighten both legs, send the hips back. Inhale, bend the front leg, move forward, lower the hips, open the front. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, move forward and open. Exhale, reach back and close. Inhale, come forward and open the front. Back to lizard lunge. Right palm down, right knee down. Bend your right leg, reach your left arm back, grab the ankle. First extend the right leg away from you. Then let it go and slowly pull that foot towards your hips. Move your right hip towards the right wrist. Continue with those slow, deep Ujjayi breaths. Slowly release. Back to lizard lunge. Step the left foot back, plank pose. Bring your feet a bit wider apart. Rotate the heels down to the right, lower the right hip down, keep the arms straight. Move through a plank to the left. Move through a plank to the right. Through a plank to the left. And just two more each side. Back to plank. Shift forward. Bend your arms, chaturanga. And knees down, elbows down. Glide through upward facing dog as you inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep the feet wide apart. Sometimes they go as wide as the mat. From downward dog, you're moving forward, rolling forward, nice and slow. Through plank, lower the hips to upward dog, but stay on the bottom of the feet. Back to downward facing dog. Let's do two more. Slowly through. Last one. Back to downward facing dog. And the feet together again to your regular downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in here through the nose. Open mouth, let it go. Two more like this. Seal the lips again. Slowly release the knees down. Come to a seat. Close your eyes for just a moment. Place your hands wherever it's comfortable. Thank yourself for showing up. yourself for practicing today. If you're curious about the long version of this class, again, check out the membership platform. All the information is below in the description. I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you very much for practicing with me today. Much love and gratitude. Namaste.